In the heart of Africa, along the banks of the river Nile, there existed a kingdom that captivated the world with its opulence and grandeur. Egypt, the land of pharaohs, pyramids, and eternal mysteries. And within this cradle of civilization, amidst the scorching deserts and the life-giving Nile, there lived a young man named Akhenaten. The year was 1353 BC, and Egypt had reached a pivotal point in its history. For years, the empire had flourished under the rule of his father, the great Pharaoh Amenhotep III. But now a new era was dawning. Akhenaten, the boy king, was about to ascend to the throne and lead his people into uncharted territories. From the moment he stepped into the royal court, it was evident that Akhenaten was no ordinary ruler. As he donned the traditional white crown and the royal kilt, he exuded an air of confidence that belied his tender years. The heavy gold necklace adorned with the sacred scarab, the emblem of rebirth and immortality, glistened around his neck. As he grasped the crook and flail, symbols of his divine authority, a hush fell over the assembled nobles and priests. All eyes were upon him, their gazes filled with a mixture of admiration and apprehension. Among them stood Nefertiti, Akhenaten's beloved wife, her presence like a calming influence beside him. Her beauty was legendary, her skin the color of polished ivory, her eyes captivating pools of liquid obsidian. But behind her serene facade, Nefertiti harbored dreams and ambitions for herself and her son. She envisioned a future where their influence would extend far beyond the borders of Egypt. As the ceremony commenced, Akhenaten's voice echoed through the vast hall, carrying with it the hopes and aspirations of a nation. He spoke of prosperity, peace, and the glory of Egypt, promising to uphold the traditions of his ancestors while embracing new horizons. The crowd roared with approval, their cheers reverberating with the rhythm of the Nile. But amidst the revelry and celebration, shadows lurked in the corridors of power. Akhenaten's rise to the throne had not been without its challenges. There were those who opposed his ascension, who believed that a child was unfit to rule such a vast empire. Among them was General Horemheb, a grizzled veteran with a thirst for power, his loyalty to the crown tainted by ambition. On that fateful day, as Akhenaten made his grand entrance into the great temple of Karnak, a chill wind swept through the sacred precinct. It carried with it the scent of betrayal and deceit, foreboding of the turmoil that lay ahead. As the young pharaoh took his place before the altar, the weight of his lineage pressed down upon him. Akhenaten's reign marked a turning point in Egyptian history. He introduced radical changes that shook the foundations of the old order. First, he shifted the empire's religious focus from the traditional polytheism to the worship of a single sun god, Aten. This monotheistic lean set him apart from his predecessors and sparked both reverence and resistance. Second, Akhenaten relocated his capital from Thebes to Amarna, a new city that embodied his progressive vision. Here, he established a more egalitarian society where social hierarchies were blurred and the arts flourished. These reforms were revolutionary, challenging the status quo and inviting both intrigue and opposition. Years passed and Akhenaten's rule continued to evolve. His obsession with the sun god grew, leading him to erect magnificent temples dedicated to Aten, the most iconic being the Black Chapel at Karnak, a monument to his unwavering devotion. Within its walls, he prayed, made offerings, and communed with the divine, seeking guidance and strength. As the years rolled on, Akhenaten's health began to deteriorate. Rumors swirled about his unusual appearance and frail physique, with some suggesting he suffered from a genetic disorder. Yet, despite his physical challenges, he remained steadfast in his religious fervor and determination to leave a lasting legacy. Amidst the grandeur and controversy, a tragic tale unfolded. Smenkhare, Akhenaten's trusted advisor and confidant, met a mysterious end. Some whispered that he had fallen ill, while others claimed he had been silenced by envious courtiers. The circumstances surrounding his death added a layer of intrigue to the already complex dynamics of the royal court. Meanwhile, the balance of power in the region was shifting. Horemheb, the ambitious general, sensed an opportunity to seize control and began amassing troops, his eyes fixed on the throne. As whispers of discontent grew louder, Akhenaten found himself isolated, his enemies closing in. One fateful day, a delegation from the kingdom of Kedah arrived bearing gifts and promises of alliance. But beneath the surface of diplomacy, a sinister plot was brewing. Horemheb, eager to solidify his position, suggested that Akhenaten grant him sole control of the army. In a moment of weakness, or perhaps as a strategic move, the pharaoh agreed. This decision proves to be a fatal mistake. Soon, Horemheb's influence grew unchecked, overshadowing Akhenaten and tightening his grip on the kingdom. As the scales of power tipped, Akhenaten's fears intensified. He realized that he had been outmaneuvered and his authority was slipping through his grasp. In a desperate attempt to regain control, Akhenaten turned to the one person he trusted the most, his wife, the ever-resourceful and ambitious Nefertiti. Together, they hatched a plan. They would flee to the sanctuary of the temple at Karnak, hoping to rally support and defy Horemheb's tyranny. However, as they made their way through the labyrinthine corridors of the temple, word spread of their presence. Crowds gathered, their emotions running high. Some supported the beleaguered pharaoh, while others sided with the victorious general. The temple, once a symbol of unity, became a battleground of loyalties. As tension escalated, a group loyal to Horemheb confronted Akhenaten and Nefertiti. A fierce struggle ensued, echoing the turmoil that shook the kingdom. In the ensuing chaos, Akhenaten and Nefertiti found themselves trapped, their fates hanging in the balance. Yet even in the face of adversity, their bond remained unbreakable. Hand in hand, they stood firm, determined to protect one another and preserve their shared legacy. As the struggle reached its climax, a sudden change of heart occurred. Horemheb, realizing the depth of popular sentiment, had a change of heart. He saw the unwavering support for Akhenaten and the strength of his own position. Instead of pressing his advantage, he opted for reconciliation, ending the conflict without bloodshed. With the threat of war averted, Akhenaten and Horemheb came together to restore order to the kingdom. An uneasy alliance formed, balancing power and preserving stability. Meanwhile, Nefertiti's role in the conflict elevated her status, cementing her place as a key figure in the royal court. Her strategic thinking and unwavering loyalty had been instrumental in navigating the treacherous waters of palace politics. Thus, the crisis was averted, but the scars of division ran deep. Akhenaten's rule continued, but the memory of the rebellion served as a constant reminder of the fragility of power. And so the tale of Akhenaten, the boy king who dared to dream of a united Egypt, echoes through the ages. His story is a testament to the complexities of leadership, the allure of religious reform, and the enduring power of love and loyalty in the face of adversity. Now let's shift our attention to the mighty warriors of the ancient world. Ever wondered about the martial prowess of Spartans and Roman legionaries? Check out this video where we explore their combat skills. You can also tell us your favorite pharaoh in the comments below and share this video with those who might appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of ancient Egypt and the legacies of its iconic rulers.